At the Ortigia Academy of Magic, Alto Goldfield has flunked his summoning test with a score of 0. He now must summon and form a contract with a familiar by tomorrow or else be held back a grade. He tells the news to his childhood friend Lilia, who's ready to help him at all cost. Even though he had failed the summoning spell before, he finds an old summoning book that falls on his head. At home, he uses the book and accidentally summons a demon girl named Vermeil. She kisses him to drain his mana and says she will serve him out of gratitude for his summoning, breaking her out of imprisonment. She then attempts to corrupt him, but he refuses and makes her wear his sister's dress and shoes. Nevertheless, she reveals to him why he can't summon any familiars, and it's due to his mana being too lethal and too powerful for any normal creature. The next day, he shows up to class and presents Vermeil to the class as his familiar, but she concealed her demon features to pass as a human. The professor can't believe it, but he passes Alto's exam. Meanwhile, Lilia becomes ultra jealous, so she challenges them to a duel. If she wins, Vermeil will stay away from Alto, and if he wins, she'll obey one command from him. The duel starts and Lilia summons her familiar, Sylphide, who unleashes a powerful wind attack, but Vermeil effortlessly blocks it. Then she counterattacks to make Lilia moan so hard that she forfeits. With Alto winning the duel, he commands Lilia to be friends with Vermeil. Later, Vermeil tells Alto that Lilia is in love with him, but he doesn't believe her since she's just an old friend. Vermeil then asks for more mana, so she kisses and drains him again and says she needs to, or else she'll disappear. She mentions other ways would provide more mana, but he stops her and says kissing will suffice. The next day, Vermeil shocks everyone by knocking a rampaging dragon straight to the skies like Team Rocket blasting off again with a single finger flick. Alto then scolds her for drawing attention to herself since no ordinary human can do that. Later, the dragon's owner and his big brother Rex shows up and threatens them, but Alto sneaks around and encases them inside his crystal magic. However, a furious Rex breaks the imprisonment and summons his dragon and threatens them again. Vermeil then supercharges Alto's mana, allowing him to defeat them all with just his crystal magic alone. Back at home, she asks Alto what's the point of studying, so he mentions his dream of wanting to be the kingdom's platinum mage. Vermeil then says she'll make his dream come true. The next day, they meet their friends Marx and Cheryl, but a man shows up and reveals that the headmaster is looking for them. The headmaster wants to appoint a class representative, so whoever can retrieve a fairy flower from the forest today will become the chosen one. As they race, Marx is knocked out by a man-eating plant, forcing Cheryl to tend to him. The others find the flower, but it's guarded by a Cerberus with a cold, so Lilia drinks an invisibility potion. However, her clothes are not affected, forcing her to discard them. Meanwhile, Vermeil has to be mana charged again by our Chad. Unfortunately for Lilia, one of the Cerberus heads wasn't sick, allowing it to detect her, so Alto and Vermeil come to the rescue and knock it out with a super beam attack. In the end, Lilia gets the flower, but the invisibility wears off. In her embarrassment, she drops the flower and it blows away into Cheryl's hands. She ends up winning the position and the others congratulate her. When walking back to school, Vermeil gets to try modern food for the first time and she falls in love with dessert. Suddenly, in the sky, dragon riders pass by and everyone admires the dragon riders' captain, Chris. After gym class, Marx reveals that Chris is one of only 7 gold mages at the academy, making her one of the most powerful mages. Later, Cheryl encourages Lilia to confess her feelings to Alto, but Lilia wonders if Vermeil is really human given her incredible power. At the same time, Vermeil makes a scene by following Alto into the boys' locker room. Regardless, the trio run into the student council, where Chris notices Vermeil and gives a remark about who she is. Later, Vermeil enters Alto's shower and attempts to corrupt him again. At an industrial plant, Chris beats up Rex and expels him from the Dragon Riders for both losing to Alto, and because his familiar is a dinosaur and not even a dragon. At the hospital, Alto learns of what has happened, so he angrily rushes and challenges Chris to a duel. She accepts and calls on her dragon Whirlwind. In response, Vermeil supercharges Alto's mana, but Chris's fire spells are powerful enough to shatter Alto's crystal constructs and damages Vermeil when she blocks them. In trouble, the duo unleashes a powerful crystal attack, but Chris rises into the sky on her dragon's back and boasts that dragons are the ultimate beings and all other creatures, including dinosaurs, are inferior. Determined to prove her wrong, Vermeil supercharges Alto once again, and with the power of Naruto's love, he sends a huge crystal. This time, Alto and Vermeil use the construct as a distraction to leap up to Chris, where Alto is able to hold a crystal shiv to her throat, winning the duel, much to everyone's surprise. Due to his victory, Alto becomes super popular with the ladies to Lilia's jealousy, but Professor Obsidian lectures him not to take duels lightly. He mentions what he would have been made to do had he lost the duel. Back at the industrial plant, Chris does her own chores since she lost and she apologizes to Rex. At night, Vermeil tries to corrupt Alto again, but he says one should only kiss someone they love, so she says she loves him a lot. Troubled, he heads to Professor Obsidian and asks him about human-demon romances, where he replies demons only want humans for mana. Back at home, Alto confronts Vermeil about wanting him only for his mana, but she proves herself by kissing him without draining his mana. She then mentions he should try kissing her sometime. Meanwhile, Obsidian corrupts a student, Emma Abilene, but injects her with something unknown and leaves her frozen in ice. She is eventually rescued but left in a coma, and the student council reveals that Emma is the third student to be attacked. Determined, the president of the council wants the truth revealed. Later, the class is assigned to write reports on their familiars. As Alto reluctantly measures Vermeil, Lilia jealously spies on them with the invisibility potion after trusting Cheryl with her clothes. While invisible, Alto accidentally brushes Lilia's pyramid without noticing, leaving her in bliss. Please leave some love if you watched this far. On his report, Alto lists Vermeil's likes as sweets, but Vermeil secretly adds Alto. Meanwhile, a seemingly possessed Rex and his mutated dinosaur beat up Chris and her dragon. In a flashback, Rex is shown summoning a gigantic egg, and it turns out that Chris was the one that helped him hatch it, believing it was a dragon egg. Back in the present, Vermeil embarrasses Alto by showing public affection while shopping. However, Rex's brother suddenly appears and begs them for help. At the plant, Rex continues to beat up Chris, where he can somehow easily withstand her fire spells while his body starts to fully mutate. As his brother Alto and Vermeil arrive, Rex says he wants revenge on Alto as well and mentions how he hates everyone, so he summons his mutated dinosaur. But the student council president Elena arrives and knocks Rex and his dinosaur out with her judgment sword, simultaneously destroying their various growths. At the student council meeting, Chris barges out to watch over Rex in the infirmary. Meanwhile, as an exam is coming up, Vermeil walks away and Lilia is eager to study with Alto alone. However, Vermeil heads to confront Obsidian and tells him that she knows he's the one attacking the students and urges him to stop. While walking away, he instantly injects her with something that causes her pain and makes her release dark energy. Everyone senses the dark energy, so Elena rushes to the scene, but is stalled by a Giga monster summoned by Obsidian. Then, as Alto rushes to the scene, Vermeil transforms into an uncontrollable monster while Obsidian gloats. Elena then battles Obsidian's monster, which regenerates from each attack. Meanwhile, Obsidian wraps a magic chain around Vermeil's neck to try and control her. As Alto and Lilia arrive, Obsidian gloats that he was attacking people and injecting them with demon essence to try to turn them into demons, but now he has a real and true demon. Suddenly, Vermeil breaks the chain and attacks Obsidian, but Alto shields him and is impaled on her claws, causing a self-recollection deep inside her essence. Enraged by what has just happened, she attacks a scared Obsidian again, but Alto blocks her one more time and says not to destroy before collapsing. In return, Vermeil returns to normal and is able to heal Alto. Obsidian freaks out at the scene, saying demons are not supposed to heal, so he injects himself with his formula and transforms into a hideous demon, declaring he will destroy them all. Unfortunately for him, Vermeil effortlessly punches a hole through him, causing him to panic, so he tries to fly away. But Chris knocks him down and Vermeil knocks him out. Meanwhile, the monster Elena was fighting retreats and says we'll meet again. Later, it's revealed that Obsidian has been arrested and all of his victims have waking up from their comas. Vermeil then sadly explains to Alto that for her to have healed him, she linked their life forces together, so if one of them perishes, the other will as well. She then becomes cold to Alto and says her monster form was her true form, so she should stay away. But Alto says he doesn't care and kisses her, leaving her flustered.